Hello everyone and welcome to a very late Table Football Monthly. Those of you who are members of our Facebook group or those of you who are Patreon members will know that in recent weeks I've been having a rather intense relationship with COVID. But I'm pleased to say we have split up and gone our separate ways, and I'm feeling much better for it. So thank you for your patience, because obviously there have been very few updates or uploads. So to make it up to you, we're going to put together a rather focused edition now, and then we're going to do a longer 75-year Subbuteo special over the next couple of weeks. So what's today about? Well, some of you will be aware that within our Real Subbuteo Club, where we look at Subbuteo, the original Subbuteo, from 1947 to 1994, when Waddingtons sold out to Hasbro, Smithy and I have been recreating games using old Subbuteo player types, trying to be generally in chronological order. So our first one was an FA Cup tie from the early 60s, featuring Blackpool from Division 1 against Oldham Athletic, who were in Division 4.
The same partnership that set up the first goal. Now watch this cheeky chip. There we have it, as Graham Oates comes in and dinks it over Bollins. Really an excellent goal. Blackpool are 2 up.
And for that, we used the original heavyweights. Last time out, we did a Division 3 clash between Wrexham and Millwall, using the moulded bases.
And Fox. And that's a good ball too. Ken Barnes making his way upfield. He could shoot. My word! It's 3-0 to Wrexham.
So this time round, we decided to recreate a match from 1973 using the iconic heavyweights. Those of you familiar with me will know that I do enjoy a bit of reminiscing. Now, when I was a kid in the 70s and was intensely passionate about football, Match of the Day was always the #1 programme. But a very close behind on a Sunday afternoon was Star Soccer. That was the name of the ATV production. I know in London and the home counties they had the big match, and in various other regions of the UK you'd have had something different. But in the Midlands, Sunday afternoon was Star Soccer, with commentary by the incomparable, deep-voiced, velvet-toned Hugh Johns. And I got to thinking that back then in Division 1, we had, as the Midlands, a massive presence in the top league. Now, as an Aston Villa supporter, I was quite a sad and lonely individual, as Villa at the time had just got promoted from Division 3 to Division 2. But in Division 1, there was a very good Coventry City side, a very able West Bromwich Albion, a recently promoted Derby County under Brian Clough, Nottingham Forest, Leicester City, Wolverhampton Wanderers, an incredible and high-level presence in Division 1. And most recently, in the early 70s, we had witnessed the promotion of a very good Birmingham City side. So we decided we would recreate that Star Soccer feeling. We'd try and go back in time with the ATV logo and the Star Soccer theme and bring this whole nostalgia thing to life. Did it work? Let's find out. How cool was that? When I first found it on YouTube and transferred it onto this film, I must admit, it really got me choked. It's been decades since I heard that theme music. Now, the game we are going to recreate is Birmingham City against Wolverhampton Wanderers from 1973. But more about that later. Initially, as I mentioned in the intro, we did Blackpool against Oldham Athletic using original heavyweights. And what we did was we used the advanced 1968 rules. Now in that game, which was terribly close, Blackpool won 2-1. And we saw Smithy's reputation as safe hands being assured with some fine saves in that game. Then, playing the same rules, we went into Wrexham versus Millwall. Now Wrexham came out on top in that game 5-1. And a lot of you put up messages feeling sorry for Smithy and mentioning how you were supporting him and willing him to win. Well, I passed all of those on. So when it came to doing this month's game, Birmingham against Wolves, with Smithy looking after Wolves, he had a message all of his own.
As you can see, walking around the studio limbering up, and it is looking absolutely superb. Now, my defensive play is superb. It's going really well. It's when I go forward the problem. So today that is going to change. I'm going to go more direct. I may have lost the last two, but this is the one. If you want to put some money on this game, put it on me.
Now, I don't want to pop Smithy's balloon. He's me bandmate. He's my table football soulmate. But I think he is oversimplifying things. Yes, when Smithy is on song, he plays out from defence really well. And 68 Advanced to Future rules encourage that, because in your own half, your opponent cannot play any blocking moves. So you can move the ball around, look at the big picture, and decide what shape and what side your attack is going to develop. But if you knock it about with the back too much and you're moving your players around, you have left holes where your defence once was. Where your defence was where? Where your defender once was. So, should you lose possession, then your opponent, with maybe one pass, can get through on goal. The other aspect of 68 advanced rules, the attacker, when transitioning into the opponent's half, gets one free flick. An accurate ball through, I could hit it first time and score. I've even got the luxury of one flick to control it before I shoot. And as a defender, you've been left wide open. And I think Smithy's overlooking this with his love of knocking it around the back. The second thing I think that's worth looking out for tactically is, again, Smithy likes having 3 touches with the player. The rules say a Subbuteo player can touch the ball 3 times. And the thing is, Smithy likes to use all 3. Well, that's great. It's within the rules, and as long as he's having a nice time, who cares? But there's always a but. If you're breaking forward and you take the first flick and then you need the second flick, suddenly your opponent can start closing around you. And doors which were open are suddenly closed. When you're attacking with 68 Advanced Subbuteo rules, you attack quick and you attack decisively. You take advantage of that first free flick. It can make the difference between having a shot on goal that is free and open or having a defender stood right in your path. So let's have a look how this unfolds. It's going to be Birmingham City against Wolverhampton Wanderers 1973. See you at half time. Here we are for Birmingham City against Wolverhampton Wanderers. We've got some good young talent on display today. Trevor Francis and Bob Latchford striking for Birmingham City. For Wolverhampton Wanderers, the experienced, well-travelled Derek Dougan and his young striking partner John Richards, fast and agile. Kenny Hibbert in midfield will be looking for a shot at any time. Our referee, Norman Burtonshaw from Great Yarmouth. Birmingham City get us underway. Well, it's the magical striking partnership of Latchford and Bob Hatton that get us started, with Hatton approaching the Wolves goal. He's played that across, nobody's really caught up with him as yet, although Francis may make a run for it. Experienced defender Francis Munro picks up for Wolves, and Mike Bailey gets the ball out wide to Scottish international Jim McCallion. That's a great ball through for the young striker John Richards, and he's shown just how dangerous he can be. The shot went wide, but this new youngster recently joining the Wolverhampton Wanderers first team, showing his prowess in front of goal. In the meantime, the ball is with Bobby Hope for Birmingham City. That's a long, hopeful pass forward to Bob Hatton. He's looking to support from Kenny Burns, but he's left him a lot to do. And I imagine Bernard Shaw will tidy that up at the back for Wolverhampton Wanderers, finding Mike Bailey with a touch forward to Kenny Hibbert. And he goes wide to the right for Jim McCallion, but he's overhit that somewhat. And I imagine Malcolm Page will tidy up for Birmingham City. Good ball forward, lovely touch on from Gordon Taylor. Bob Hatton picking up possession. He's faced by John McCall. Munro's come across from centre back. Latchford's beaten him to it. Tries to turn, but Munro's blocking the way forward. Latchford still gets his shot in, and the ball's just over the bar for the first corner of the game. Well, that's raised the voice of the Birmingham City fans. Our first corner with Gordon Taylor. Doesn't get past McCall at the near post, and McCall will play it back to his goalkeeper, Phil Parks. But he's mishit that and given away a very cheap corner. Birmingham City will get a second opportunity to profit from their good fortune. So Taylor, that's a much better corner to Bob Hatton. Good shot, Parks parries it. Francis Munro plays it back, and Wolves should be able to tidy up from here. John McCall will play that back to Phil Parks. Made his debut back in 1967 and now has over 200 league appearances to his name. So that's Munro, forward to Mike Bailey, the Wolves captain. Kenny Hibbert picks up the ball there, knocks it out to the right to Jim McCallion, but Gary Pendray snuffs out that attack and moves forward, playing the ball into space, into the Wolverhampton half. Kenny Burns will try and pick that up. He's overhit his pass to Trevor Francis. Now Francis is quick, but I don't think he's that quick. One might expect Derek Parkin, the Wolverhampton right back, to clear that. But he doesn't. Francis intercepts it. Bob Latchford is inside. Oh, that's a splendid turn. Bob Hatton, his striking partner, is on the edge of the area. That's a lovely pass right into his path. You'd fancy Hatton here. What a beautiful goal. He put his boot through that. Phil Parks got both hands to the ball, but there was no stopping it. Birmingham City, much to the delight of the home fans, 1-0 up. So 15 minutes gone, and Birmingham City lead local rivals Wolverhampton Wanderers, who now come forward with John Richards. Roger Hind, signed from Crystal Palace, coming forward to block Richards' path. But he's played the ball to Dugan. Derek Dugan may fancy a shot from there. Indeed he does. Oh, a striker of Derek Dugan's experience. Should have done better with that. That's two very good chances Wolverhampton Wanderers have spurned. In the meantime, Pendray's played the long ball forward. Gordon Taylor's got round Bernard Shaw, and that was a fine effort. Parks was well positioned to push it wide, and Birmingham City have a third corner. Well, that was a slick break from defence. Taylor plays it inside for Bob Hatton. Latchford comes across to help, but I think Shaw will get there for Wolves. Plays it across his own area. That was rather dangerous. He's surrounded by his defensive teammates and may yet get a chance to clear it. But he's hit it straight into John McCall. Well, what a dog's dinner at the back here for Wolverhampton Wanderers. Munro has come clear with it. Gordon Taylor blocking off the pass back, and Munro comes away. Well, that was high-risk play indeed from the Wolverhampton Wanderers defence, and they're still not clear. Gordon Taylor may get a toe in here. No, he leaves it to Kenny Burns. Burns tries to slip Taylor through, but once again, Bernard Shaw covering, and the ball is back again with Phil Parkes. So once again, Mike Bailey, this powerhouse of a captain for Wolverhampton Wanderers, steadies the ship as Kenny Hibbert comes back to offer a bit of support. But Francis came back and got a toe in. The striker playing well for Birmingham there. But McCallum has stepped in anyway. He's got John Richards to his right. Malcolm Pay's trying to cover. Richards has an opportunity, but Roger Hind at centre-back. A rock at the back for Birmingham City. Tidies up. And with a little help from Malcolm Page, they get the ball safely away. That's down the line now. Bob Hope knocks it forward, but Bernard Shaw got it, and that's an excellent first-time ball for Mike Bailey. And that's a good ball forward for John Richards, and he's found Derek Dugan. This looks like a very promising chance. Wolverhampton Wanderers could equalise here. Dugan didn't really wrap his foot around it, and the count of missed opportunities for Wolves goes up a notch. 3 good opportunities, all placed wide. In the meantime, we have Kenny Burns picking up the ball. He's got Gordon Taylor in front of him, but he's gone inside. Hatton's closely marked. He's tried to play the ball across to Bob Latchford. Derek Parkins in his way. Latchford manages to get his body in front of the ball, and a late challenge from John McCall saves a potential goal-scoring opportunity from Birmingham. McCall still got it, and the ball goes out. It's passed into a separate zone, so the throw goes to Birmingham. Trevor Francis knocks the ball back to Bobby Hope. Returns it to Trevor Francis, and again Munro intercepts the pass. That's landed in front of Hatton, but Bernard Shaw tidying up for Wolves. All a bit messy at the back for Wolverhampton Wanderers so far. The one player who does bring a bit of control is captain Mike Bailey. Roger Hind again tidying up at the back for Birmingham, and that's out to this young, new superstar, Trevor Francis. Knocks the ball back to Bob Hope. That's a promising ball between the two centre-backs. Latchford has made it. Gordon Taylor may well have a shot from here. Oh, I'm not sure what happened there. I think that might have been a miss-hit. It's landed at the feet of Francis Munro, and he plays it back to Phil Parkes. Well, Gordon Taylor may have done more there, and Wolverhampton get off lightly as Parkin makes his way down the line, waits for Bailey to take over, but Pendre intercepts beautifully, puts that into the path of Trevor Francis. This young man can move. Parkin fouls him, but the referee waves play on. Francis could shoot. What a lovely goal! A lovely goal from the young superstar Trevor Francis. Birmingham City double their lead to the delight of the St Andrews crowd. 2-0, and Wolverhampton Wanderers only have themselves to blame for losing possession then and gifting Birmingham City with the opportunity. So once again, Wolves kick off, and now we have McCallum coming forward. That's a good ball through to John Richards, and he's pulled one back! John Richards has pulled one back! Birmingham City had dozed off as Wolverhampton came forward straight from the kickoff. Latchford got both hands to it, but could only push it into the top corner. Young John Richards, with his 4th goal of the season, will be thrilled with that. And still, the game flows from end to end as Birmingham come forward again. Mike Bailey, the Wolves captain, got back, took that off Latchford, and Munro should tidy up. But Latchford is quick, gives chase and takes the ball off Munro's toe. He's on the edge of the area. He may fancy a shot from there. Parkes looking to narrow the angle. Latchford for the far post. Deary me, that was close. And
Voice.
we have the whistle for half-time.
Half-time and Birmingham City 2, Wolverhampton Wanderers 1. Have we learnt anything from that first half? Yes, we have. Smithy and I are truly predictable. We have a chat before the game about how the previous 2 matches went. We discussed best use of tactics with advanced 68 rules. We discussed the different things we may try. Then the game began and we just went back to form, doing everything that we know is right and wrong. So let's have a little analysis of 2 predictable players who have played against each other for too long. First of all, let's have a look at the opening goal. We discussed how Smithy liked to play it around at the back. Well, the first goal, sadly for him, came from a defensive error.
Once his fullback had lost possession on the touchline, his central defence were out of position as the Birmingham striker, Bob Latchford, turned to play the ball into the penalty area. Nobody was close enough to the scorer, Bob Hatton, leaving him with a relatively clear shot on goal.
For me, Birmingham City's second goal is far more interesting, but because it encapsulates everything we discussed before kickoff. Smithy makes a break down the left-hand side. And as I mentioned, Smithy does like to use his 3 flicks. So we'll see now how those 3 flicks lead him into a cul-de-sac, and in an effort to retain possession, he ultimately loses 2 key defensive players, leaving me a chance for a speedy and decisive counter-attack. And in this instance, we perfectly see illustrated how overuse of too many flicks in your opponent's half with 68 advanced rules can lead to problems in defence, and the importance of a quick and an incisive counter-attack. Now, we're not picking on Smithy in this half-time because the Wolves goal was an example of what happened when he woke up. Suddenly 2 down, he scored the ideal 68 advanced rules goal. He came forward from his kickoff and I was overabsorbed in moving my players forward. The thing about a kickoff in Subbuteo is it takes a moment or 2 to start getting your players around the pitch. Smithy's attack up to that point had not been overly effective. His shooting had been a little bit off and my goalkeeper had not had to make a save. I had got a little bit complacent. Whilst I was moving my players, Smithy quickly moves himself into a position of attack. The key mistake for which I must hang my head in shame is that there were 2 chances to block the goal. Let's have a look.
Here, missed opportunity 1, missed opportunity 2, price paid.
So, Smithy proves a leopard can change its spots. In the blink of an eye, Smithy turned into an incisive and direct attacker, just like he said he would at the beginning of the game. And he put that shot right into the top corner. So 2-1, pretty much even Stevens. Let's join the second half and we'll catch up on how we both fare after the final whistle.
Wolverhampton Wanderers get us away for the second half, trailing 2-1 to local rivals Birmingham City, and we're with John Richards heading out to this right-hand side where Gary Pendray takes the ball off his foot, and that's a rather interesting ball forward. But John McCall will tidy up. That's a good ball to Bailey, and what a splendid through ball that is. Richards is fast enough to catch it. This could be a goal. Oh dearie me, another wasteful attempt from Wolverhampton Wanderers. I think that's the 4th attempt they have spurned in front of an open goal. So Dave Latchford takes his goal kick. John Roberts at the back for Birmingham City. Ken Burns knocks it out to Bobby Hope. Latchford back to Burns again. We come out to this left-hand side for Birmingham City. Gordon Taylor messed that up, and I'm afraid that McCalliog will take the ball off their feet and start building an attack for Wolves. Here comes Bailey. McCalliog's in a lot of space. What a perfect pass that is. But McCalliog has got the ball stuck under his feet. And unfortunately for him, whilst he controls it, the Birmingham defenders come rallying back and snuff out the problem. Well, that was a real opportunity, but McCalliog got the ball right between his feet and couldn't do anything with it. So, Wolves will try again to come forward. The ball is with Dave Wagstaff on the wing. Malcolm Page has run back to block him. Page just winning the tussle there and getting the ball in. Burns comes back to help him. There's an opportunity here for Page to turn. She does successfully. The ball's come back to utility player for Birmingham, Kenny Burns. That's a lovely ball forward to Latchford. Latchford moves towards the Birmingham half. Oh, he's overhit it. Frank Munro will take that off his toe, but he's given it right back. Clumsy defending. In the meantime, Hope has played the ball through. It's Bob Hatton. Oh, how close was that? And in fact, it was the fingertips of Phil Parkes who pushed that onto the crossbar. What an unbelievable save. That was so close to Bob Hatton's second goal and Birmingham's third. What fantastic goalkeeping from Phil Parkes. Here's Bobby Hope for Birmingham. That shot's gone well wide. Well, Wolverhampton Wanderers have their 6-foot goalkeeper, Phil Parkes, to thank for that. The score remains Birmingham City 2, Wolverhampton Wanderers 1. And the ball out now to Derek Parkin. The ball is taken off his foot. Malcolm Page and Kenny Burns there together. Latchford pushes it on for Hatton. They've swapped sides here, which they do often. And Bob Hatton now within shooting distance, should he try to do it. But Parkin takes the ball off his toes and breaks out quite successfully. Mike Bailey will come across to help him. That's all been done rather well. Mike Bailey now, that's a great ball through to Derek Dugan. He's pushed the ball inside. Richards could make it. And unfortunately, he pushed Roger Hind in the process. That will come as a relief to the Birmingham defence. Roger Hind can take the free kick, which he does very well. Burns is getting everywhere in this second half. That's a rather ambitious ball towards Trevor Francis. McCall comes across, takes the ball off his toe. Good defender. Francis fights back though and gets it. Latchford makes himself available, but McCall comes back and has another bite at it. Good determined defending by McCall then. But again the ball given away. The ball is with Bob Latchford. He may fancy a shot. Oh, he beat the keeper, all hands down, only to see his shot come off the post. Well, this really is one-way traffic for Birmingham at the moment. That's the crossbar and the post that have kept Wolves just the one goal behind. And once again now, Hibbett comes forward. That's ricocheted off Roberts. Hind has picked it up. Plays the ball out to Malcolm Page. Hind again, playing the ball forward for John Roberts. That's a good ball out to the wing for Taylor, but it's just carried. The wind might have got behind it there for a throw to Wolves. So, Bernard Shaw now. What a fantastic pass! That is Dave Wagstaff. What an opportunity. Pendry's come across to cover it. Wagstaff puts it inside for John Richards. Roger Hind comes back as well. It's a race for the ball here if Richards can get there first. Hind just beats into it. Another near thing for Wolves. They're not quite turning these chances into true goal-scoring opportunities. In the meantime, Malcolm Page comes forward. Plays an interesting ball forward to Bob Hatton. He goes forward on his own. He may try the shot. Munro is standing in front of him. Taylor adds his weight to the challenge. Francis attacks the ball, but it's Bernard Shaw who comes across. What a delightful pass that is. Dave Wagstaff. looking for support, which comes from Derek Parkin. That's played forward to Jim McCalliog. No one for him to pass it to at the moment. Gary Pendray stood in front of him and takes the ball off his toes. That's a very nice ball to Trevor Francis, but it's taken instead by Bobby Hope, who may try a shot. Didn't really get any power behind it. Parks able to punch it out for a Birmingham City throw. So Bobby Hope takes it short. Here's Hatton looking to cut inside. Wolves have got players back now. Hatton trying to go through alone. Latchford comes in and lends a hand. What a beautiful pass! Hatton has scored again! Hatton has scored again! A great 1-2 between these excellent Birmingham City strikers. A second goal for Bob Hatton and the score 3-1. Look at the work Latchford did. Hatton left with a simple job of putting his laces through the ball. No chance for Parks. 3-1 Birmingham City. And Wolves really have themselves to blame for what has been a rather sloppy start to this second half. Dave Wagstaff now throws it in to Mike Bailey. Back to Wagstaff. That went in front of John Richards. Unlucky there for McCalliog, trying to reach it, but Malcolm Page takes it off his foot. John Roberts plays the cross here to Bobby Hope, who plays it forward to Trevor Francis. So to bring the ball back towards Kenny Burns. It's a little touch out to Taylor, who leaves it for Malcolm Page. Page will now play it inside to Taylor. He picks it up again, certainly getting around the pitch, this Birmingham City fullback. 3 caps for Wales. And now it's Taylor out on the wing, who may cut inside. He takes a shot on Phil Park's near post. A straightforward save for the keeper, who pushes it out for another corner, which Taylor himself will take. That's a very accurate corner towards Bob Hatton. He's on the edge of the box here with a shot of goal. And Parks unbelievably tips it over from almost point-blank range. This keeper is rapidly becoming the man of the match for Wolverhampton. A quick corner! Parks again! Excellent reflexes. John McCall, the Wolves centre-half, deflected the corner almost into his own goal. Parks was razor sharp then. And Gordon Taylor fires wide. Well, Birmingham City putting the squeeze on here up front. Phil Parks, 2 excellent saves in 2 minutes. And again, Birmingham win possession, this time with Trevor Francis. He's played it out to Bob Latchford. And finally, Parkin gets the clearance to Mike Bailey, who's had a quieter second half. That's gone out of play. Pendray will take the throw. Inside to John Roberts. Pendray gets the ball back with a first-time pass. Oh, what a beautiful pass that is. Right into the path of Bob Hatton. 1 touch to get it under control. Could be a hat-trick. It is. It's a beautiful hat-trick for Bob Hatton. What a well-deserved goal that was. It went under Phil Parks, but that ball was travelling. 4-1 to Birmingham City. Game, set and match, one would imagine. What a second half. The Blues fans thrilled with that. And the referee is looking at his watch. That is game over. What a splendid result for Birmingham City.
If I'm going to be critical, I fell a bit short here and there. There's a few millimetres here, a few millimetres there. But still, hey-ho, 3 games, 3 defeats, but I will be back.
Smithy, as usual, a man of few words. In fact, all through his late teens and early 20s, the only 2 words he was ever heard to utter were "you're round." But he's not wrong. There were a couple of instances where it was a matter of millimetres between him making a key connection to the ball or just being a hair's width away from it. One also has to look at the chances he squandered. Had he taken a bit more time or made different decisions about which player to flick at the ball, he might have had the 3 goals that would have got him a draw. For Birmingham, well, there were 12 shots. I think 8 were on target. 4 goals, and Smithy, as he always does, produced a couple of tremendous saves. The fact still remains that when you look at 2 of the goals that were scored by Birmingham City, and indeed Smithy's goal in the first half for Wolves, they were all about speed. Incisive, fast and direct attacking. And that is the way to undo a defence with the 68 advanced rules. Well, next time out, we'll be moving on to lightweights, which we haven't used for ages, even though we have over 300 teams here. So our next game will feature something interesting from the 80s with lightweights. So I hope you'll get a chance to join us for that one, which will be the 4th in this current collection. Well, as I mentioned at the beginning of the programme, that's it. We wanted to post a rather focused programme now because of the delay through me having COVID and some work commitments. But over the next 2 weeks, we are putting our backs into creating a Subbuteo 75-year special, which I hope you're going to enjoy. So hopefully that will be up in the next fortnight. Otherwise, thank you so much for your patience. Thank you for joining us. I hope you enjoyed the game and I hope it inspires you to keep on flicking. See you again soon. Take care.
But the one I did get, I buried it.